In this video, we'll be seeing turn on methods of a thyristor or an SCR. See, we have actually more than one method to turn on the SCR with forward biased condition. What is forward biased condition? Anode is positive with respect to cathode. Okay, we will see each method one by one in detail. So the following methods are forward voltage triggering, gate triggering, dV by dt triggering, temperature triggering and light triggering. Actually, we have seen this forward voltage triggering method already. So what happens is that when voltage across the anode and cathode is increased very drastically, that is greater than the forward breakover voltage, I already told you that junction J2, in junction J2 there is a breakdown which occurs. Okay, this is known as the avalanche breakdown. Okay, so this is the forward voltage triggering method in which without applying gate voltage itself, we can turn on the thyristor by increasing the voltage beyond VBO. Okay, so at this voltage thyristor changes from off state to on state. Okay, but the disadvantage of this method is it might permanently damage the thyristor, because when J2 breaks down due to avalanche breakdown, the junction 2 will lose its blocking capability when the thyristor is turned off. And this is the working principle of forward voltage triggering. Next, we have the gate triggering. The gate triggering is the simple, reliable and the most efficient way to turn on the SCR. In this triggering, even junction 2 will not get damaged. Okay, so this is the most usual method which is used in firing the SCR in the forward biased condition. Okay, in this method what happens is, in forward condition, that is anode voltage is positive with respect to cathode voltage and a gate pulse is applied in the gate terminal. When the gate pulse is applied, junction 2 is filled with electron and recombination takes place, and then the SCR will start conducting. Next is temperature triggering. In temperature triggering, it is actually a cumulative process. So what happens in temperature triggering is that when forward voltage is applied and the SCR is still in the forward blocking mode, there is a reversed bias condition in junction 2. So due to the reverse bias condition, I told you there is a small leakage current that is already flowing inside the SCR. Okay, due to this leakage current and the reverse bias due to in the junction 2, there is a rise in junction temperature. This we already know that if temperature rises, resistance falls and the current will start to increase. So the leakage current in the SCR will start increasing. So this cumulative process will continue. That is, when the temperature increases, the leakage current increases. As the leakage current increases, the temperature will increase further. So as the temperature increases further, then again the leakage current will increase. So this cumulative process will take place simultaneously when the leakage current is greater than the latching current. I have already told you that the SCR will start to conduct when the leakage current, when the current is greater than the latching current. So this is another process of turning on the SCR, but this process is also damaging to the SCR, because here also in junction 2 avalanche breakdown takes place. Next is the light triggering of the SCR. So this method is same as gate triggering. So what is the difference is actually is, instead of a gate there is a niche that is made in the inner P level, in inner P layer, and this niche is irradiated with free charge carriers, holes and electrons which are generated due to high wavelength of light being irradiated in the P layer. Okay, if this intensity of the light thrown exceeds a certain value, the forward biased of the SCR is turned on. Such thyristor with light activated SCR is known as laser. Okay, so this light activated SCR thyristor have now been used in high voltage direct current transmission system. So this is also a system which will not affect the SCR like the gate triggering pulse, but the other methods such as forward voltage triggering, temperature triggering, and even dV by dt triggering will affect the SCR, because avalanche breakdown happens in junction 2 and the junction 2 will lose its blocking capability. So this is the image of the elementary light activated SCR. Okay, you can see a small niche is made in which the light will be irradiated. This light being irradiated is as equivalent to giving gate pulse to the P terminal. When light is irradiated, free charge carriers like holes and electrons are induced in the junction 2 and the SCR will start conducting. So next is dV by dt method. This dV by dt method is actually same as forward voltage triggering, but what happens is the voltage is increased to a drastic level for a very short period of time. So what happens when the voltage is increased for a very short of time is, when the voltage is again greater than the forward breaking voltage condition, then the SCR will start conducting. So the dV by dt is equivalent to forward voltage triggering method. So with this we have completed 5 turn on methods of the SCR. Using these methods, the SCR can be turned on, in which the forward voltage triggering method, the temperature triggering method, and the dV by dt triggering method is not preferred, because avalanche breakdown will occur in junction 2, in which the junction will lose its blocking capabilities when the SCR is turned off. Okay, whereas the gate triggering and the light triggering is preferred because it is the most reliable, simple and efficient method, and also the avalanche breakdown will not occur and junction 2 will not lose its blocking capabilities. With this, we have come to an end of this video lecture. In the next lecture, we will see protection of SCRs, that is protection of thyristors. So thank you for listening to this lecture. Hope to see you in the next video. Thank you everyone.